Pete, good morning to you. I know you're always positive. What are you feeling positive about at the moment?
Well, there's so much, Peter, and like I got to say, in all honesty, there will be a time when I'll have to be negative. But, like even, my earlier predictions in the middle of this year that a vaccine might come in faster than what doomsday merchants were predicting, that's worked out. And I'm not saying that I'm a brilliant forecaster. I've relied on other people like Chris Joy and other experts who said that we could actually do this sort of thing. But I always understood that there was an economic implication if we can get vaccines happening, because it returns the world to normalcy quicker than we expected. And that's why I said some companies like Webjet and Flight Centre and Qantas could be good investments, because you get in early and you wait for the normalcy to come in faster than you expected, and bang, their share prices go up. But you want the economy to show you that it's starting to react to all the positive stuff in terms of fighting the infections and all that sort of stuff. Now, look at Australia. Business confidence this week, the NAB survey, came in at a 31-month high. So it's higher than it was even before the coronavirus. The business conditions, that measures what business is saying about business right now, Pete, that came in at 20-month high. Once again, better than it was before the coronavirus. And then the ANZ weekly consumer confidence number comes in at a 12-month high. Once again, that's higher than it was for the coronavirus. So these are all very good things. And then throw on top of that then, the outlook for the stock market is a lot better than people would have predicted.
Look at this. Goldman Sachs tips stocks to rise by 16% in 2021, Pete. So the good times are going to roll on.
Exactly right. And see, the thing is, what I was saying to you earlier, that if the vaccine works as we expect, and by the way, I saw Bill Gates from Microsoft on US Business TV yesterday, saying that by the end of the first quarter in the US, there's going to be six vaccines in place. In the UK, they're saying normal life in the UK will be around by April. Well, we're talking June or July. So this is all going to be built, therefore, into the stock market. And I think in particular, the first half of this year, historically, is always good for the stock market anyway. We're going to see it. And so Goldman's, in fact, I was writing a story yesterday and people have been asking me what I thought would happen to the market. And I said, I think at least a 10% gain. I'm hoping there'll be more, but probably 10%. Then I started doing some research. Goldman Sachs came out only a day or so ago and said they're expecting a 16% rise of the US stock market. And Blackstone, which is the biggest funds management company in the world, no, it wasn't Blackstone, but not the biggest company, but they are one of the big fund managers in the world. They said that they've gone from neutral to overweight for stocks for 2021. So everyone's seeing this normalcy come back and the reopening trade to be a real pusher of the stock market in 2021.
So which stocks, Pete, should people be getting on?
Yeah. I think you have to look at the stocks that have been beaten up during the stay-at-home phase, and you start looking at the stocks that are going to benefit from reopening. Now, some of those have already gone for a big kick, Flight Centre, Webjet, corporate travel. But I suspect over the course of 2021, they will actually still do well. I will be looking at those sorts of companies. And by the way, then some of the companies that are being ignored, like JB Hi-Fi, which did very well during the stay-at-home, they then could become a buying opportunity, because as fund managers sell these great companies to materialise their profit to buy the reopening trade stocks, then those ones then become good value again. So there's going to be rotation from stay-at-home to reopening, and then there'll be an opportunity to go back into some of those quality companies like the Harvey Normans, the JB Hi-Fis, and they will be value again. And I think that's going to keep powering the market up. And I think the banks will do better as well, because the banks will love the fact that the economy is getting better much faster than we expected.
Like you said, Pete, it's just those stocks that have been battered the most from coronavirus that will eventually surge back. Like you mentioned, the travel stocks there, Qantas among them. And then you've got the various industries that are attached to that, such as big oil now that planes are going to be back in the sky and people will be driving their cars.
Hospitality business, Peter. Hospitality. Like in the US, particularly those big hotel groups like Marriott and all stuff, they'll do well. And then the cruise lines. In Australia, we've actually delayed
by another 3 months.
3 months.
Why would you get in those, though?
That's right. eventually they will be forgiven. Eventually people will go back to them.
Okay.
And so I think that's what's going to power the market, this rotation from one to the other, and the quality companies will prevail.
Would you ever get on a cruise liner again, Pete?
Only if they were paying me $20,000 to do a speech.
I think the business is going to struggle a bit in coming years.
I think it will. But you know what will happen? This is another interesting thing. The level of safeguards in these sorts of businesses will be really ramped up, and the businesses that are in the business of creating safeguards for hospitality, they'll be businesses to invest in as well.
All right, 20 grand. Is that your going rate?
No, don't. My going rate's 12, but I need an extra 8.
Oh, that's handy.
To get on a cruise.
Yeah. So that's what people are going to cost if they want Peter Switzer for their Christmas party, for their office Christmas party, 12 grand. Okay?
And all that happens is I show you how to get rich. Imagine that.
Hey, well, it might be money well spent then, huh? Peter Switzer, great to chat. Talk to you soon.
Cheers,
Let's get some weather.